TIFU realized I was an asshole for 10 years. I've had talks, spats, fights and whatever else you wanna call it with my spouse for 10 years now. Talks about how I'm hard to show I care. I don't communicate and I have anger issues. Bad attitude, bitching and ranting, but not physical outbursts. We had another talk a few months ago and I understood. Finally I understand. My anger and bad attitude had made my family walk on eggshells around me. It hit me hard. We dug into it again recently and it's just clicking what a huge piece of shit I am. We would hang out with people and on the way home I'd be tearing them apart and shit talking about them the whole ride home. So naturally she stopped being close with those people and let those relationships fall to the wayside. We don't like all the same music and if she had music I didn't like, I'd talk shit about it and make jokes. So she stopped listening to music out loud when I was home. If I didn't like someone, a candle scent, a music artist, I pushed my will onto the situation by talking shit about it. I made my spouse walk on eggshells when I'm home and caused her to lose friendships and was bitter. Agitated wet blanket. Luckily she does admit I am still a very good father. It's pretty much the only thing I didn't fuck up. I get it now and I honestly wanna curl up and die inside. For the first time in 10 years I can see the patterns and I'm an emotional wreck thinking about all the hardship I caused my wife emotionally, socially and overall wellness-wise that I am just beside myself and don't know how to deal. It's hard to say it but now I see that it was abuse. All that I put her through. Abuse and causing damage to someone isn't just physical, it doesn't even have to be screaming and yelling to do harm. Trying to force your way all the time, whether you're aware of it or not, can cause your loved ones to lose their spark, their friends, their hobbies and the things that bring them joy. I have a lot of work to do to make up for the damage I've done. I don't take it for granted how lucky I am that she hasn't taken our kids and walked away long before now. But she hasn't. And if it takes another 30 years I'll do everything I can to continue to try and make amends for the person I was and the damage I caused. TLDR. I was an asshole for the last 10 years and couldn't see the damage I was doing to my marriage until now, and I'm mortified and completely eye-openingly shaken to my core. Disclaimer. Grammar is not my strong suit. Follow-up. I am in therapy. Have been in for about 5 weeks now and will continue. My significant other is this way exactly. Everything is the end of the world or very negative down to my music. How did she find the courage to tell you and you understand it and not flip out? I'm genuinely curious how you guys had the conversation. Good on you for seeing it. Wow. I hope you follow through. This kind of self-awareness is rare and many of us with abusers, intentional or not, would love to know that you acknowledge this flaw and are working towards fixing it. I hope you guys can work it out. Best advice. Listen. You don't have to love all the same stuff. But it's really awesome to support each other's interests. Good luck. It sounds like you have a good heart. I admire you for your willingness to admit your wrongs. Rather than TIFU. Perhaps today is the day you stop fucking up. Trying to force your way all the time can cause your loved ones to lose their spark. Really resonated with me, so thank you for sharing. I hope you continue to be this open and have this constant communication with her for the rest of your lives, and that it makes your relationship so much happier and healthier. Dude. Today you did not fuck up. Today you made the most important decision to build happiness for your family. You fucked up the last 10 years. But not today. What an awesome thing to have this realization. You have so much life ahead of you with this newfound perspective. Working through similar behavior myself, I've found it incredibly helpful to talk with a therapist if you're not doing this already. I'd recommend finding one through one of the following methods as soon as you can and approaching it with an open mind. The Psychology Today Therapist Finder. https://www.psychologytoday.com/us/therapists- your health insurance's provider locator if you have one. BetterHelp. Best of luck on your journey of self-awareness and compassionate self-work. You can't make it up. Those things happened. They left scars. But you can absolutely be better moving forward. You can acknowledge the harm you've done and stop. This is like recovering from an addiction. I too had anger issues for a long time. But my epiphany was different. My realization was that in my entire life, not one outburst of anger ever benefited me. There was always a price to pay, and it was always more than the outburst was worth. So, I replaced anger with kindness and started treating people with respect instead of derision. It's hard sometimes, but the reward is hearing my family tell me that I have a good heart. I don't, but I'm working on it. Good on you for owning up to it. I think a lot of times we, dudes in particular, put up this defensive wall that manifests itself as shit-talking and not giving a fuck. It's almost out of survival. Then, when we get into adult relationships with all these complex emotions, we kinda revert back to that defensive mode, which just isn't a great way to be with someone who loves you. Good luck, boss. Recognition is the first step. Next comes changing your actions. I'm still working on that one. Facing your own shortcomings and wrongdoings is tough work. But it also shows growing self-awareness, maturity, and sensitivity to others. What you've said here takes some serious courage and strength. And it sounds like you've had a breakthrough in communication with your wife. Congratulations. Sincerely, not sarcastically. Truth and openness in communication is huge in healthy relationships. Your whole family, and to be honest, everyone around you, will benefit from breaking your habit of shit-talking to get your way. And I think you'll all be way happier. And I think you'll learn to appreciate the interests, preferences, and perspectives of your family and friends in whole new ways. I think your life is going to be richer and more complex in very good ways. And you'll be a better role model for your kids. Not just by working to change, but even in the act of admitting your mistakes and striving to be better. It takes more energy than you realize to be that negative all the time. Whether you realized you were doing it or not, my guess is that as you curb the habit, you will feel a lot lighter and more positive in general. Emotionally, socially, mentally. Good change begets good change. Yes. It will take work, but realizing what's wrong can sometimes be the lion's share of the battle. And in this case, now that you've identified the habit, behavior, I think the change will come more rapidly than you might think. I think it would be good to give your wife permission to call you out when you don't realize you're doing it, as long as you're then willing to listen when she does. In short, yes, be aware and take accountability for your past abuse. But also don't allow yourself to drown in guilt and remorse. Focus on the positive results. Remember that change won't happen completely overnight. Take it day by day and step by step. Be kind to yourself as well as your family, because it sounds like you're committed to the process. Good luck, my dude. You are so lucky you figured this out before she decided she was done. So many never get it until there are divorce papers. And by then, there really is no fixing it. Good luck on finding your kinder, gentler self. Gotta love a redemption arc. This is the beginning of yours. Beautiful to see such rare self-awareness. Man, many of us only see the bad in us when it's too late. Some never do. It's gonna be really hard at first to shake off old habits. It's gonna take a lot of stopping yourself right before words leave your mouth, and it can be exhausting to deviate from such deeply ingrained behaviors. But I hope you keep it. It's gonna be worth it. Whatever you do, do not ask her to make you feel better about this. Even by implication, don't put her in a position where your bad feelings become her problem again. Even though they are feelings of guilt instead of anger now, so it probably feels different to you. You might think you are apologizing when really what you are telling her is, I heard and I want you to make me feel better about what I did. Men often do this to the women in their lives when they realize they have fucked up. Don't. Do better. Be better. Get therapy. And remember, you owe them your apology and you owe them your repentance. But they don't owe you forgiveness. If they give it, it's a gift and you better treat it as such. This recognition is the first step of many. I hope you follow the path and become the person you want to be for the people you love and who, hopefully, still love you. Good luck. I was lucky to have this moment over 10 years ago, in my 20s. After being a lousy boyfriend to a great girl, I was so self-centered I paid zero attention to her, lied to her, cheated on her, and finally we broke up. After breaking up, someone told me to look back on the relationship and asked me, would you have dated yourself? Quote, I hated myself at that moment. I wanted to do the impossible to make it up to this woman. But then I realized the best thing I could do was bow my head, say how sorry I was, and remove myself from her life. Then I went and got a tattoo on my arm so I would never forget not to be such an asshole again. It's been almost 15 years. And I'm now married to a wonderful woman with whom I have a very healthy relationship. But I still have the tattoo. And I still regret hurting my ex. Realizing you're an asshole to the ones you love hurts like hell. But it's 1,000 times better than never realizing it. You sound like my father. And let me tell you, not sexually abusing your child does not equal to being a good father. Your spouse probably considers providing to your family financially as being a good father. I really doubt your children are comfortable being around you. At this point, there is nothing much you can do but be a better person though. You remind me so much of the piece of shit I have for a father. The only difference between you guys? You finally realized it, and it's not too late to fix it. I admire you for recognizing it. And please take the opportunity to follow through. My father was exactly like this. And he made us all walk on eggshells. I was lucky enough to get out. But my mom's still stuck in that marriage and refuses to leave after 45 years despite my best efforts. So, if you can, please tell your wife there are internet strangers who know how she feels. And that it'll be okay. Good luck to you guys. I am surprised your wife didn't ditch you shortly after marrying you. You sound like you were the most insufferable piece of shit on earth, and I can tell you. Had I had to deal with someone like you, I'd have cut them out of my life ages ago. No one needs that kind of BS in their life. Especially not from their partner. At the very least, you've noticed the issue and you're working to improve it. Dunno how much that counts after such a long time of causing damage. But it's gotta count for something. Especially since she hasn't ditched you. So it can only go up from here. I hope this works out for you. But remember, you have to monitor yourself daily now. If you drink, you should stop. If you use cannabis, that also causes irritability. I've had family members that made it out of this hole. And friends that didn't. You've made a huge first step. And I wish you luck on your journey ahead. Owning it won't be enough if you don't go to therapy to change those behaviors. My therapist taught me making someone walk on eggshells is a form of abuse. I'm glad you figured it out. Please really do the work. Thank you for sharing. Growth is important, and it sounds like you just had a massive spurt. I had a pretty trying day today. But reading this made my heart smile. Thank you again.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.